go through with why, no. I don't know how to start. How do you start this without making it sound bad on both ends? I mean, okay, let's just get into it.
Everything I do the best, and deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hey guys, I had to do this in a two-part story time of how I had to fulfill my customer. If you have never been on the channel before, I am Jazzi, Allegra, and I'm telling us like to inspire all nurses, new and aspiring to be the best nurse that you can be, because you will be and you are a great nurse. Let you know that Vlogmas is coming up, and it is going to be 25 days of nurse positivity. So make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment this channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at nurselife_JazzAllegra, and we can share inspiration there. Here we go. It's part 1 of this story. Oh my gosh. Do you have your tea? Do you have your coffee? Let's go. I took a contract in upstate New York. Okay. It wasn't the demographics that I was quite used to. It was quite different. But everyone was nice. Everyone was like about their own business. It's busy. They're short. So like no one has time to micromanage and be that nurse, right? So I'm enjoying my time. Everyone's just like trying to keep their head above water, making it great. If you need help, you asked, you didn't, you went about your day. It was wonderful. I'm like probably second weekend, about to hit my third week. And the hospital calls my recruiter, calls my recruiter and already offers for an extension. Now, prior to coming on to this assignment, I had already stated for myself, made it in my own mind that I was going to take the whole of December off because I missed Christmas the last year and the following year of just being home and just being in the feels of Christmas. And I was like, this year, no, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be in the fields. I'm going to be where I want to be. I won't have to be obligated to be someplace. This year's my year. So when he came with it, I said no because my contract ended just around Thanksgiving. And so I was like, nope, I'm going home. I'm December is for me. There's no extension. Absolutely not. This is for me. I've missed how many Christmases. This is for me. I love Christmas. I'm sorry. Christmas is my season. I love it. It's my thing. So my recruiter goes, understandable, I got you, I hear you, you're right. I'll just let them know. He goes back with, I'm thinking is a no. My boy comes back with, like, probably 2 days later. He comes back and goes, well, they said they'll take you in January. Yeah, go ahead, have December off. They'll take you in January. Now, me being, I'm just jumping into this positive life. I promise you, I love nurse positivity. But in any, is it the nurse in me? Is it because, as my best friend would say, it's because I'm a Scorpion. I'm a Scorpio. I'm suspicious. I was like, well, they're gonna allow me to have December off and come back in January. Why? And he is like, oh no, maybe you should do something good. I said, I've only been here for about like just going on 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't talk to anybody really of any consequence for anybody to notice anything about me, good or bad. You sure? And he's like, yeah. He goes, obviously because you're doing something great. Okay. Ego boost. Okay, fine. We'll go with that. Great. They'll take me in January. All right, fine. Yeah, I'll come in January. They're like, gonna keep it at the same rate. And he goes, they never do that. And he's saying all of the right words. And I'm like, okay, it's whatever. The only downfall for me is I'm not a cold person. I don't care how pretty snow is. I just don't want to be there for an extended amount of time. To visit snow for like for a handful of days, but to actually get up and have it to work in it, go through it to get to work, it doesn't sound appealing to me. So that was my loss in the hand on my end. But I was just like, great, I like the rate. The people don't bother me. Everyone's really about trying to work through this nurse shortage of this hospital, and no one has time for this micromanage little, whatever. And no one is doing like the mean girl club situation. I was truly enjoying my time. Right. So yeah, I was truly enjoying my time. So if the vibe was the same vibe here now that I am, January would be no sweat. I would just be grumbling because I had to come through the snow. Sign the contract. It's there. It's going. I'm living my life here up in upstate New York, just doing my own business, loving my time here of just really just being invisible but not invisible. No one's messing with me. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Long story short, I want to say it's probably the end of the second month, beginning of the third month of my contract. And I'm like, okay. Some weird things have happened, but like they were corrected on their own once I brought it to the attention to whoever needs to bring it to attention. And, I was like, okay, just whatever, brush it off. Brushing it off. There was, they have a number of like smaller units where they usually have like between 2 and 3 nurses, but mostly their staff at 2 nurses and like 1 aide, because they only have like a limited amount of room, so they're not really big units. So I go to this unit, and I've been there before. I've worked with some of these nurses in rotation, so like I kind of remember their faces. I don't remember the names, but I remember the faces. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen her before. Of course, I've worked with her before. Okay? This particular day, we were running. And I'm starting off with we because I assumed she and I were both at the same level of things being thrown, and we're just trying to keep all of the balls in the air, just juggling them. Because I see her moving just as much as I'm moving. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is what we're doing. The aide, she's pregnant. She's wobbling down these hallways, doing doing the best that she can. Like, we're getting these things done. I'm like, look at us. Look at us sweating bullets. Just prefacing that this hospital does they have 12-hour nurses and they have 8-hour nurses. So it's like kind of a mix of like when shift moves. And this particular floor has a mix of 8 and 12s. And the nurse that I worked with was an 8. And I'm a 12. So we're moving. And then it comes a time where she's a staff nurse there. So she, for, all intents and purposes, is the charge nurse, because it can't be me. And she's like, oh, I'll take the next admission. Here, the next admission comes, it's going to be yours. And we're great. We're in great teamwork mode, okay? I feel like we got this going, even though we're running like crazy. I hit max, or what I thought was max. And I was at like 6 patients, and I was like, okay, thank God. At least I know no one else is going to get thrown up on the floor. Great. I maxed out. There's, whatever. And at this time, I knew that she had already discharged like 2. I want to say that at the time I thought it was like 2 or 3 patients. But I'm not checking because ERs have been going up. So I know she's probably been taking and she's probably been back to back. Like, whatever. So then she gives me a heads up that, hey, you're going to get a patient. And I'm thinking, oh, we've been so busy. She's probably forgotten that I've already hit 6. So I was like, yo, we did 6. we're good. We do 6. I'm at 6. We're good. Yeah, just let them know, like, we're full. So I'm thinking maybe she's full, and that's why she's throwing it back on me. Why would she do anything less than that? You know, like, why would she try me? Why would that be a thing? So she's like, oh, let me look at the screen again. So I leave her look at the screen. I'm doing my business, blah, 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 blah. Da-da-da. So I have a patient that needs to be, like, transferred off to a unit that actually has, like, telemetry monitoring, because this floor is basically just med-surg. So call supervisor, blah, 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 yeah, put it on the bedboard, blah, 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 it's on the bedboard. Long story short is that I'm working so much, and because there's only 2 of us, the phone rings, and I take the report, because I see that she's stuck in a room, and I'm basically free at this moment. I'm trying to sit down and, like, just catch up on charting, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take the report for her, no problem, blah, 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 right, and I go on business, right, this time I haven't seen her yet, so, like, in passing, ER called, I took the report, and she's like, okay, oh my god, thank you. Patient comes, and I'm like, oh, your patient's here. I have the report that I'll just give you the rundown if you can't read my handwriting, because I was, like, really just chicken scratching it. And she's like, oh no, that's your patient. I was like, Now, mind you, at this time, it's like 2:30, 2:50. I now have a 7-patient load, because I don't know. And she's like, oh, I can't take it because I have to go. I'm sorry, how many patients do you have? Like, is this her 6th patient that she just wants me to help her get it settled down? These are the responses I'm giving her, because I'm throwing out lifelines, ma'am. Like, please don't make me have to come out of character and say something. I say out of character. I am argumentative. I love a good argument. But at this point in time, because I know we've been rushing home, whatever, maybe she's not telling me her full thoughts. So I'm like, I'm working, and she's like, I got 7 patients. Well, no. Her response to me is, oh, we take 7 on this floor. We can go up to 7. Okay. It is med-surg. I'm from Florida. It's not an unheard ratio, but I don't know. I wasn't privy to all the ratios for this hospital, because I was supposed to be mainly to be telemetry, so I wasn't privy to the med-surg ratio policies for this hospital. So I was like, oh, so what am I fighting so hard for? Okay, so I'm addressing the patient. I'm trying to get through whatever. Now I'm trying to balance the 7-patient load here, and still trying to get this person off the floor so that he can go to whatever. Of course, there's no bed, so of course that patient has to stay just where he is. And now it's change of shift for the 8-hour nurses. So the new nurses are coming in. They say I'm still staying here. I'm not gonna get moved off. I'm gonna stay here and finish out my 12 hours. Okay, cool. So now I go up to the desk. Just actually sit down and just chart, and I look. My girl only had 4 patients. 4. But she's so overwhelmed, she can't take this patient because she has to go. Why am I sitting at 7 when you have 4? Now, I can't do a whole Broadway scene, because in fact she is going, and the new nurse is coming in. So I said, Jasmine is going to be diplomatic. I'm going to be diplomatic. I love this. I'm going to allow the new nurse to go, who just came on shift, to get her bearings, get her report, and we're just gonna hash it out. We're gonna whatever. And so I go, they do that, you can report, homegirl with 4 patient leaves, and I go, hey, I have 7 patients. Can we just divvy out what we need to divvy out, because that's a no. That's a no for me. Homegirl looks me in my eyeballs, these eyeballs here, and go, yeah, we take 7 patients. Interesting. So I keep it on the main brain. And I know if you're listening to the story, you're like, I would definitely raise Cain. I would raise hell. It would be over. It'd be the end of it. But I've been there, done that life. I don't do that life anymore. So I go, okay, well, let me work harder to move this other person off, because I really was just trying to balance my life out here. So nursing administrator goes, they finally get a bed. Great. I get this other man off the bed like 2 hours into the next 8-hour shift. And okay, great. He's off. So now I am back at 6. You think that would be over. I'm breathing now. I don't have to worry about 7. I'm just trying to make everything just balance out now, because now it is coming up to my time to go home. And I'm like, thank God I can't do this life of we take 7 floor. So, of course now, there's still rooms available, because the next nurse still has, she's still in the rears of four or five patients. Their rooms, their room on the floor, which means she's going to have to be doubled. So she's like, "Oh, Jasmine, can you?" I said, I said, next nurse left here, and she didn't take back to back because she said she needed to go. You have a full shift, so I don't think you can use the same excuse as her. And I won't be taking 7 when you're available. I can help you do some admissions, or whatever have you, but I cannot take 7. Oh, I wouldn't have asked you that. I was just seeing what number of patients you had. We all know what number of patients I had. The most. It's only 2 of us. The most. I have the most. So, yeah. We let that go. I let it go. The shift is over. I leave all worries at work. I'm about to go back to where I need to be, away from. Guys, thank you for watching. Come back right back to get to part 2, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 1, 25 days of nurse positivity.